So not only are we getting great new games coming to Game Pass this May, including one of the major Xbox exclusives of the year, but we also are getting close to a dozen new game announcements for Game Pass this week. I'm Sunny here at Xbox Central, and we kick this off with Tomb Raider Definitive Edition making its return to Game Pass. Now in this game, you get the chance to step back into the shoes of Lara Croft. She's this badass adventurer who finds herself stranded on an island after a shipwreck. Now your goal is to find a way out, and that requires a lot of exploration, solving challenging puzzles, navigating challenging environments, and battling enemies as you go. The game has been loved for its addicting exploration mechanics, its compelling narrative, and the Definitive Edition also makes it a lot better with enhanced visuals, improved action sequences, modernized gameplay improvements, and some fresh new content. If you guys are into action adventure games, you can't go wrong with a Tomb Raider title. This lands on May 2nd on Xbox, console, and PC. Now Kona 2 is a mystery game that drops you in the shoes of Detective Carl. In this game, you're tasked with uncovering the secrets behind a creepy phenomenon that has got the whole town covered in this creepy mist called broom. It's an interesting game because it doesn't use horror to create a sense of dread. It uses more of a eerie, dark environment, desolate landscape, and intense puzzles and harsh survival elements. While it's not as popular as the first, the sequel to Kona has created its own place with its unique gameplay, strong narrative, and even mysterious environment, and everything just becomes a whole lot more effective with its amazing voice acting as well. If you guys are into detective games with challenging puzzles and of course a horror-like theme, definitely think about putting Kona 2 on your list. This arrives on console, PC, and the cloud on May 7th. So just launched today is Have a Nice Death. This is a 2D action roguelike game where you play as Death and you're overseeing the company called Death Incorporated, and your mission is to get your employees back in line. This is an awesome fast-paced action combat game. It's got procedurally generated levels. This is available on the cloud, console, and PC to play right now. So game returning to Game Pass that's one of my favorite games of all time is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Now sadly, I don't think this is the remake which overhauled the visuals and the performance, but the original is still a game that I'm just never gonna forget, and it's one of the few games I was actually able to get my wife to actually game from start to end. That's how good it is. It's about two brothers on a mission to cure their dying father, and let me tell you, the adventure gets wild and crazy. One brother is a little bit older and he's a little bit stronger. The younger brother is a little bit more agile and he's a little smaller and he can kind of get through things. And there's even some pretty awesome boss fights, and there's unforgettable moments as the game can get a little bit emotional as well. It absolutely pulls on your heartstring as you guide these two brothers doing everything they can to save their father. This arrives on May 14th on console, cloud, and PC. Now if you love cats, I think you'll love this next game. It's called Little Kitty Big City, and it's an adorable upcoming adventure game where you play as a lost but super adorable cat who is trying to find her way back in a big and bustling metropolis. But before you get home, you will meet a ton of other animal characters along the way and just go on this crazy adventure together and basically just have a ton of fun causing mischief wherever you go. Now this is more of a casual adventure. It's all about having fun as you explore this world and just kind of do cat things. You'll climb balconies, you'll get into homes, you'll break stuff, and you'll annoy the crap out of humans basically just for fun. It's a cool little adventure game for cat lovers, and it is coming out on Game Pass on May 9th as a day one release. Now Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is going to be one of the biggest game releases of 2024, and guys, it's coming out directly on Game Pass as an Xbox exclusive. This highly anticipated sequel continues Senua's brutal journey through the dark world of Viking Iceland, putting emphasis on everything that made the first game a global hit in the gaming industry. Now we saw how Senua embraced a lot of what happened towards the end of the first game, and I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers, but we might see something a little different this time around, and we might even see a more stronger version of Senua. According to what we've learned about this sequel so far, we might even see a lot more in-depth combat with new moves and skills, and thanks of course to the immense power of Unreal Engine, the visuals will also be more stunning than we've ever seen before, taking the already amazing cinematic immersion of this game and taking it up yet to another level. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 arrives on May 21st on Game Pass for Xbox Series X and S, and guys, I cannot wait to get my hands on this one. So Haunty is kind of shaking up things in the indie gaming space with its unique visual style and innovative gameplay, and if you guys are fans of indie games, I think you'll like this one. In Haunty, you play as a naive yet brave little ghost on a quest to uncover the secrets of a mysterious world, and the game beautifully combines exciting exploration with challenging puzzles that really require out-of-the-box solutions. Luckily, being a ghost gives you access to some of these ghostly powers that help you manipulate the environment and even the characters around you, but it's not all brain power. You also get to flex your action skills, taking down some enemies with your deadly weapons and otherworldly tricks. It's really a nice mix of exploration, puzzle solving sprinkled with the occasional lighthearted combat. Haunty arrives on Xbox Game Pass on May 23rd on consoles and PC. So this did release a couple days ago, but I wanted to talk about it because Fallout 4 is one of my, well, the Fallout franchise is one of my favorite franchises, and Fallout 4 does seem like, you know, over the years the visual appeal of it has fallen, but that's the reason that maybe you've been putting off this game or maybe you haven't. Either way, Fallout 4 has just received a major facelift for Xbox Series X and S consoles, and of course it is playable on Game Pass. Now the devs are calling this like a next-gen update, and it offers two new modes. There's the performance mode, which really amps up the gaming experience by delivering super smooth gameplay, and it is about 60 FPS on 4K with standard settings. On the other hand though, the quality mode offers a visually stunning experience, running the game still at 60 FPS, but with jaw-dropping 4K resolution and ultra high settings. Meanwhile, the performance mode might not look as nice as the quality mode, but the cool thing is both are at 60 FPS, and this was a much needed update for us Fallout fans. I really think you're going to enjoy this, as I have, bringing both new and old players back to this post-apocalyptic world just full of horrors, humor, and epic drama. I've already put 15 hours and started a whole fresh new character, and I've just been enjoying the crap out of this, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this old gem as well. Now this is another game that also released as a shadow drop on Game Pass some days ago. It's Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and this game, when it first launched last year, it really came out with fans' expectations really sky high, especially following the massive success of Jedi Fallen Order, but Survivor really just couldn't hold up at the time. Many issues kind of forced people to kind of quit the game in frustration, but after a year now of full patches and fixes, it's really a whole new game, and it's seriously amazing. Survivor takes place 5 years after the events of Fallen Order, continuing the journey of Cal. While most of the gameplay remains the same, Survivor doubles down on things that truly matter to a Star Wars fan like myself. It's got more in-depth lightsaber combat with new fighting styles, more expansive and populated world maps, overhauled character customizations, and of course more awesome force powers. If you ever enjoyed playing Fallen Order and you just haven't gotten around to Survivor yet, now is your chance to get in, especially if you got Game Pass. As I said, this did release some days ago as a surprise drop, and this instantly becomes one of the best single player games on Game Pass that you can play now. Now if you're a PC gamer with Game Pass, Xbox dropped some games recently. We have Populous: The Beginning. It's a great choice if you're looking for an in-depth RTS experience. Then you also have Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. This is another great strategy game with a sci-fi space setting. And then finally we have SimCity 3000 Unlimited. This is an epic city building simulator. All three of these games are available on Game Pass for PC. Guys, we also got some completely new announcements for upcoming Game Pass games as well. Our first game is Rolling Hills. This is an adorable life simulator that lets you run your own restaurant, which is coming out on June 4th. And then we have SteamWorld Heist 2. This is a thrilling new turn-based shooter that is all set for release on the 8th of August. This does follow up the sequel to the first game, and that came out almost a freaking decade ago, guys. Also, guys, Hollow Knight Silksong Xbox store page actually has been recently updated. It even got an age rating listing, so this could potentially mean we are about to hear a release date and announcement for this game. And as you guys know, this game is dropping on Xbox Game Pass when it does finally land, and this will be a good one. So recently Xbox had a showcase showing off brand new games not just coming to Xbox but Xbox Game Pass. So let's take a look at those, starting with Dungeons of Hinterberg. This is a full-blown adventure game where you play as Luisa, taking a break from her corporate job to explore this magical tourist spot in the Alps. Now she's equipped with a sword, and you'll be exploring, facing challenging puzzles, slaying some monsters, and taking in some breathtaking environments. This one does land on Game Pass on July 18th. Now a game that is available on Game Pass right now is The Rewinder. This is another puzzle adventure game that's based on Chinese mythology, where you play as the last known Rewinder. Now this is a select group of people who can communicate with spirits and go deep into the mind of people to rewrite their past. This is available on Game Pass now. Now we got new info on the game Commandos Origins. I've talked about this before. This is the top-down strategy game where you and an elite group of soldiers fight back in World War II, and you'll be doing things like raids, covert sabotage, and even rescue missions, each with your own platoon member having their own special skills. This looks to be a good one when it arrives sometime this year on Game Pass. So we have an interesting new multiplayer co-op puzzle game called All You Need Is Help coming to Game Pass. This is where you and your friends control these cube-shaped creatures, and you try to work together to reach the goal of the level. This is one of the more fun co-op couch co-op games releasing this year, and especially a game if you enjoy puzzles. I know I don't enjoy puzzles, so this will not be my jam, but I'm sure a lot of you guys will. This does look like a promising one when it comes later this year. Now, another game coming to Game Pass is Fireworks. This is another Chinese puzzle-based game where you're set to investigate a case that was closed ages ago about an accidental fire at a funeral, and the game does have elements of horror and a lot of Easter eggs to discover. Now, another interesting game coming is Depersonalization, which I think is in early access, but it's coming to Game Pass. It's kind of strange game because it does have all these different mechanics, but overall it's an RPG title with thousands of positive user reviews, really nice pixel graphics, and this strategy combat with multiple endings and stories. It does look promising, and this one again does land on Game Pass. Now, another RPG coming to Game Pass is Volcano Princess, where, get this guys, this is hilarious to me. This is a parent simulator RPG where your decisions affect your daughter and thus the effect of the future of the empire and how you raise her. You'll be keeping up with her studies, her daily life, her jobs. You can have her learning things like painting, learning music, combat, and yeah, this is totally a game if you've ever thought about what it was like raising a princess. Yeah. You have it with the game here, Volcano Princess. This is coming to Game Pass. Now, yet another puzzle game coming to Game Pass is Humanity. This is a third-person puzzle action game where you become a dog, I guess, and you command massive crowds of people who have to jump, float, shoot, and make their way to salvation. The game features 90 story mode stages, and well, this game's about as unique as it gets. And then finally, we have 33 Immortals, and I've talked about this game before. It's one of the more promising indie games that I've ever seen, really. It's a co-op roguelike game where 33 players, including yourself, raid bosses together and you fight together and hopefully slay together. What's new is the beta should be launching here soon. It should be ready now, and if you're interested, you're going to want to go ahead and check this out. So Vampire Survivors also gets some big updates and getting a future update as well. Now, this current big update is the immersive door opening is now a new thing, new challenge stages, and a lot more. Now, the future update is called Operation Guns, and this is a Contra crossover, and guys, this looks super fun. If you guys are interested in Vampire Survivors, it's available now on Game Pass. So guys, Starfield is set to get a new expansion called Shattered Space, and it's coming this fall. Now, I'm a big fan of the game, but I know a lot of you guys aren't. If you guys are a fan, let me know in the comments, or if you hated Starfield, let me know why you hated it. But there's also a new update that's coming sooner, and it's gonna have new shipbuilding features, which I totally partook in. I actually have a massive freighter in the game. There's new display modes, new gameplay and difficulty options. So there's a lot of cool stuff, and guys, I'm personally really looking forward to this Starfield or these Starfield updates. Another game getting a big update is Palworld, and this is introducing new pals to the game. 4 to be exact were teased. There should be hopefully a lot more coming to this update, and it should hit on Game Pass this June. And finally, guys, we have the games leaving Game Pass this mid-May. There's definitely some good games here that I'm sad to see, like Just Cause 4, but the good thing is I have an awesome list of games not seen on any other Game Pass list that are absolutely addictive and must plays. These are some of the best you can play, so check out that video on the screen.